Sean Shepper. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Right. Says, what is Mullens' win-loss percentage? Guys, he is garbage. Great heart, great drive, poor ability. Grant, your gangster pick looks like Matt Dillon. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Wow.
Ooh, that was harsh.
Sean, I have to say that sometimes you have to just watch the games far beyond losses or wins, because the first year when Nick Mullens started, a lot of the people said it was in 2018, if I remember. Yeah, it was in 2018. A lot of the people said that the 49ers are Super Bowl contenders. And if you are watching that team that we had in 2018, that team wasn't that great. That team didn't have that talent that this team has right now. And Nick
got on the ball.
And Nick Mullens was an undrafted free agent who just gets into the game. We don't say that Nick Mullens is a franchise quarterback, but we say that Nick Mullens is not as bad as most of the people think that he is. Because when he got the game plan, when he got the key players that he didn't have this year, then he was okay, and not just okay. Remember how he beat the Raiders. Remember how he beat the Seahawks in 2018.
Yeah.
So don't be that harsh to him.
We'll stick with this. This is a really good question. Everyone looks at like Jimmy just always wins. Jimmy always wins. Well, he was 1-2 in 2018 before he tore his ACL. Yeah. He was great in 2017. That was amazing. In 2019, two things changed about the offense. The addition of Raheem Mostert, the addition of Deebo Samuel. You could argue that they were the co-MVPs of the offense. George Kittle, excellent player, but he was on a 4-12 team tearing it up. Yeah. When they added Deebo and Raheem Mostert to that unit, they were really freaking tough to stop, and they won a lot. Because the thing about Raheem Mostert and Deebo Samuel is they don't just help the offense, Botond. They help the defense too. That's your running game.
Yeah.
That's your time of possession.
Because a part of our defensive game plan is that the offense have to take as many time from the clock as possible, because this defense is not built up to stop offenses for more like 20 minutes in a game. And you can see that when you are watching our games before that in the first 1 or 2 quarters, we were great.
Yep.
But in the third and the fourth quarter, when we just couldn't play the clock with the offense, our defense was getting worse and worse with the time going on.
And real quick, with Nick Mullens, he's played half a game with Raheem Mostert. It was the Raider game. Mostert left that game with a broken arm. He's played one game with Deebo Samuel. That was the Eagles game. Samuel's first game back from a pulled hamstring. What was it? Something like that. So, I mean, he's never played with both of them at the same time, or either one for like a full 100% healthy game, whereas Jimmy Garoppolo had a full season with both of them. I'm just saying, I'm telling you, if the Niners can get these two guys back after the bye week, I'm not writing this team off, because both of us agree going from Nick Mullens to Jimmy Garoppolo is not a step down. Not this year. Not this year. It's not. And I really think that for what Kyle Shanahan asks a quarterback to execute in this offense when Deebo and Mostert are on the field, boy, I think, honestly, I think Kyle Shanahan thinks he could do it himself.
That's so true. Yeah.
I bet he
that's
does.
So true. But he has to get back Deebo and Raheem Mostert, because nobody runs the ball as Raheem Mostert does. Nobody runs the ball as Deebo Samuel does with the gadget plays.
Right.
They are a huge part of this offense, and you could watch the games from our last year, and you can even watch our games when we won this year, except of course the Giants and the Jets game, because I don't think that those two games were a good sample to
judge the team.
Because
it's the Giants and the Jets.
Because
Absolutely.
they were the Giants and the Jets.
Of course.
When we won, it was mainly because of Deebo Samuel. It was mainly because of the yards after catches. It was mainly because the artificially made up Jimmy stats. Nothing else. And
that's what it was against the Rams, right?
Yeah, and you can do that with Nick Mullens, and although you could done that with Josh Rosen or other quarterbacks
You
like
do it
that.
with Kyle Shanahan. You could do it with C.J. Beathard. You could do
Yeah.
it with Josh Johnson. It's a shovel pass. It's a screen. You know, it's not a lot. And again, they can do it when they have Debo and Raheem Mostert. They can give the ball to those guys almost every freaking snap and say, hey, there's a handoff. Here's an extended handoff. I'm telling you, if they get those guys back after the bye week, I'm not going to bet against them. If they don't, though, that's why I'm not picking them this week, because they could have the right exact plan going into this game, but they just don't have Mostert and Debo, and that's the identity of the team, those two. Now, Sean is coming back since we put him on blast a little bit. He goes, I understand. I don't expect him to be Joe Montana. We go from an injured quarterback that can't throw to a healthy one that can't. I like Nick the person. I understand Niner fans would kind of like to have the next Steve Young to root for, right? The guy who's like the most athletic player, the most exciting player. Hey, I understand. That's not Nick Mullens. He's going to be a career backup who can win some games in the right situation.
Actually, if you are just strictly looking to the stats, you have to say that if Nick Mullens throws the ball for more than 15 yards, he's an elite quarterback.
Thank you. He's actually good at it.
He's an elite quarterback. He had some problems with the shorter balls, but I think it's mainly because he didn't have as many practice with the first team.
Agree. Yep.
So, because I was a quarterback for a short time here in Hungary. Of course, it's not on a high level that the NFL is, but what I learned first, that even though I have a great ball naturally when I'm throwing for longer distances, but if I'm trying to throw the ball for shorter distances, it's much more about timing and much more about how do you know your receivers.
Yeah.
Because those are rhythm passes.
Yes.
The short passes are rhythm passes, and you have to just practice and practice and practice and practice until it just gets into your mind.
Right. Yes. And that's where chemistry comes in and all that.
Yep.
Yeah. It's interesting. If you look at the splits, passes longer than 15 yards down the field, I looked this up. It takes 15 minutes to check it out on NFL Next Gen Stats. You just look at their passing charts. Jimmy Garoppolo was like 5 for 18 with 0 touchdowns and 4 picks.
4 interceptions.
5 completions, 4 interceptions on passes that went. You can't play with a guy like that. And that's why I say the Niners are in better hands with Nick Mullens this year. Because, look, Jimmy was hurt. It wasn't fair. He's still hurt. He shouldn't play. He is not a good quarterback when he's hurt. Nick Mullens, still healthy. And on passes that have traveled more than 15 yards downfield for him, he's like 15 of 23, which is a pretty high percentage on such a low percentage throw. And I think he's got a touchdown and no picks.
Yep.
So if they can just give him some gimmies to go along with that, this team, and again, I keep coming back, are they going to make the playoffs? So let's say they're 7-7. Let's say they're 7-7 with 2 weeks to go and they find a way to beat the Cardinals. Well, Mullens did pretty well against the Seahawks. The Seahawks can't stop freaking anyone. They have a great offense. The Niners can't stop them either. But every quarterback except Jimmy Garoppolo this year has done well against the Seahawks. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to keep interest in a season that I have to cover. Maybe I'm just trying to sell hope to the fans over here. So they'll keep watching me on YouTube. But I really think that maybe it's just because I like Nick Mullens. I'm not writing this team off yet. It's my guy. It's my guy.
Yeah. I think that everybody likes Nick Mullens a little bit inside.
Everyone sees himself in Nick.